Making headlines. The president announces the removal of 228 political appointees from various government ministries, aiming to reduce the government expenditure. Maldives strongly condemns the decision by Israeli authorities to seize the headquarters of the UNRWA for settlement purposes. And the president announces an increase in import duties on cigarettes and tobacco products.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. PSMNEWS announces the removal of 228 political appointees from various government ministries, aiming to reduce the government expenditure. The decision was publicized in a social media post in which the president described it as a direct cost-cutting measure. In a social media post, President Dr. PSMNEWS announced the decision to remove 228 political appointees from various government ministries as part of the administration's economic reform agenda. The president stated that he instructed the removal of 7 state ministers, 43 deputy ministers, 109 senior political directors, and 69 political directors. He noted that this measure is expected to save the government $370,557 per month. The government has been exerting several efforts to remove the current economic stance. It has been implementing several measures to strengthen the management of state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and to overcome the financial situation of the country. The significant reduction in political appointments align with the president's broader efforts to streamline government operations and ensure more efficient use of public funds. The government of Maldives strongly condemns the decision by Israeli authorities to seize the headquarters of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA, in East Jerusalem for settlement purposes.
In a statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Maldives denounced Israel's ongoing violations of international and humanitarian law, including the illegal expansion of settlements, the destruction of UN agencies and relief organizations, and the obstruction and attacks on aid workers, actions that have gone without consequence. The statement emphasized that these actions not only impede the provision of essential services and the realization of basic rights for Palestinians, but also undermine the only viable path to lasting peace, the establishment of a state of Palestine based on pre-1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. The Maldives commended UNRWA for its continued life-saving efforts during these challenging times. The government and the Maldivian people expressed their solidarity with the Palestinian people and reiterated their call for the international community to urgently and effectively hold Israel accountable for its illegal actions against the Palestinian population.
In a bid to reduce tobacco consumption, the president announces an increase in import duties on cigarettes and tobacco products. This addition aims to encourage the public to avoid tobacco use. An amendment to the law will be proposed to adjust both the specific and ad valorem rates of import duty on these items starting in November. The specific import duty on cigarettes and biddies will rise from $0.20 to $0.52 under the Export-Import Act, while the ad valorem rate will increase by 50% additionally. The president has called for strengthened measures to empower enforcement agencies in curbing tobacco use in public spaces. A comprehensive and nationally recognized campaign will also be launched to assist habitual smokers in quitting. The president urges the public to collaborate in making Maldives a tobacco-free society. And now we'll take a short break for Isha prayers. Stay tuned.
දිවෙහින්ගේ මිනිවන් කමුගේ රැඩ්රොඟු අවුඩු දමානී වර ඵලකොෂ ඒ රැඩ්රොඟුගේ එතරියක හැම එබ්බස් බයක වණමුගේ හග්ගේ නෝන්නානේ එකම් කුරුමුගේ ෆුර්සතෙන් හැම හිලා ඉරාදු කවියා නුදේනමේ එතරේග තිවි බයක වියා ඉරාදු කවියා බේරු කුරානමේ අමලා බහ ඉරාදු කවියා අවුඩුගේ අබදුස්තිමාවාන
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
दती दती वेनो देहिता माये लोग तो दिल पर यारा दीवाना वे विपार
ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಒರಗಂತರೀಚತಿ ದುವ್ವನೆ ತಿಹಾ ಮಡುಮಡು ಗವಾದುಗ ಇನ್ನಾನೆ ಮಿಕಪೆ ದುವ್ವೇನೆ 20 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೆ ಪುರಿಮತಿ ತಿಯೋತಿ ಹುಸ್ಜಾಗ ಫಹತುಗ ತಿಯೋತಿ ಇಂಗ ಮೀಹು ಕಾಮ ದೋಗಂತಕುಂ ಫೆನ್ನಾನೆ ದೋ ಫಹೈ ಜಾಗ ಬೋತೆ ದುವ್ವಂ ವೀನುಂ 20 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ಹಮೆ ಎಹನೆನ್ನು ಪುರಿಮತಿ ಎಚ್ಚಂಗ ವಜ್ಜಿ ಅದು ಮಡ್ಕೊಲ್ಲನ್ ಜೆಹುನಸ್ ತೀ ಖಂದಾ ಗೊತೆ ನೂನೆ ಮೆ ಬರವಲಿ ದುವೆಲಿಗ ಮೀನ ಮಿ ದುವ್ವಂಜೆ ಸಬಬೆನ್ ಹನ್ನಕ ವಿಸ್ನಾ ನೇಗುನು ಇವತ್ತು ಜಾಗ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕುಡಿಮತ್ತೀಗ ಹಮ ರೀಚ ದಾಂಬೇನು ಬಿಸ್ಸಬ್ಬರ ಮಚ್ಚ ನಾರಣ್ಯ ನಿಮುಣಿಗೆ ಏ ಗವಾದಕಿ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಎಬ್ಯಾಬ ರಂಗಳು ಕೊಲ್ಲೆವೇಣೆ ಹಮ ಕುಡುಕುಡ ಬಿಸ್ನುಮುಗ ಮಸಲಿಗೆ ಎತ್ತಿವಳೇನೆ ರಂಗಳು ಕೊಲ್ಲದಿ
Welcome back to PSMNEWS in English, and now we'll continue with the news. The Foreign Relations Committee of the Parliament approves the appointment of Aishat Azima as the High Commissioner of Maldives to India. This addition follows the nomination by President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. Azima is set to replace the current High Commissioner, Ibrahim Shahib. During the committee meeting, parliamentarian Abdullah Rifao proposed interviewing Azima. However, parliamentarian Mohammad Dawood suggested that the committee approve her appointment without an interview, citing her qualifications and extensive experience. The committee unanimously endorsed Azima's appointment after receiving support from other members. Azima has held various positions within the ministries during 1988, following her completion of training programs both domestically and internationally. In addition to her role as ambassador to China, she has also served as the deputy ambassador of Maldives to the UK. Her previous positions include additional secretary and joint secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz nominates Ahmed Sarir as the ambassador of Maldives to Saudi Arabia. The president has sent Sarir's name to the parliament seeking parliamentary approval. The nomination has now been sent to the Parliament's Foreign Relations Committee for further reference. Sarir currently serves as the ambassador at large at the Foreign Ministry. Prior to this, he served as the Director of Asian Affairs of the Organization of Islamic Conference, OIC. Sarir previously served as the Foreign Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the permanent representative of the Maldives to the United Nations, UN, as the ambassador of Maldives to the United States. Furthermore, he served as the ambassador of Maldives to Bangladesh as well. The government announces a new regulation that mandates the presence of a health and safety officer at any workplace employing more than 75 workers.
The Occupational Safety and Health Regulations was developed under the newly enacted Workplace Safety and Health Act of this year. The Labour Relations Authority, LRA, will be responsible for enforcing the regulations, which aims to promote a safe and healthy work environment. The regulation also outlines the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders in ensuring workplace safety and health. Under the Workplace Safety and Health Regulations, employers are required to establish safety and health arrangements at their workplace. The regulations mandate that a health and safety officer must be appointed for every 75 employees, with the number of officers increasing as the workforce grows. The regulation details that workplaces with 75 to 150 employees must have one health officer, those with 151 to 300 employees must have 2 health officers, and those with 301 to 500 employees must have 3 health officers. In addition, workplaces with 501 to 1,000 employees must appoint 4 health officers, and those with over 1,000 employees are required to have 5 health officers. The duties of health and safety officers as outlined in the regulations include educating employees about workplace safety regulations, conducting training programs, performing regular safety assessments, and ensuring the implementation of safety protocols. Additionally, they are tasked with identifying potential health hazards and taking preventive measures to address them.
Ministry of Construction and Infrastructure reveals that a technical assessment has been ongoing to observe the challenges encountered during the execution of the road development project in Addu City. The road construction of Addu City has been contracted to an Indian company, Evcons Infrastructure Limited. The new roads will be paved and developed to meet modern demands. The $1 billion project will also include the installation of drainage systems, street lights and cameras into a CCTV network as well. The Construction Ministry revealed that the works of the project are nearing completion. However, the ministry has observed some technical problems within the project. It had not provided any details in order to address these issues. The ministry has disclosed that efforts are ongoing to conduct a technical assessment on the road. The assessment will be conducted by a team from the ministry. Additionally, Minister of Construction and Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, has announced plans to launch the second phase of road construction in Addu, prioritizing the link road. He revealed the government's commitment to modernizing the link road, which was developed in 2023. Minister of Agriculture and Animal Welfare, Dr. Aishat Ramila, announces that the Dandwari Nafa loan program, which is issued without a collateral, is being expanded to $32,000. She made the announcement during her special address for National Farmers' Day on October 15th and World Food Day on October 16th.
In her address, Minister Ramila emphasized the government's commitment to making agriculture a key sector in the economy of the nation. She highlighted the government's efforts to support newcomers to the sector and elevate the sector to new heights. She further noted that a total of $1 million has already been disbursed under the Dandwari Nafa loan program, which is being further strengthened. Additionally, Minister Ramila said that the ministry is collaborating with the SME Development Finance Corporation (SDFC) to increase the current loan cap from $6,500 to $32,000 without collateral. She said that the ministry and SDFC are working to ensure that agricultural loans are compliant with Islamic financing principles. She also announced that the government is partnering with the International Fund for Agricultural Development to expand the agribusiness program, including setting up model greenhouses on 12 islands with 5 more islands to follow. Furthermore, Minister Ramila revealed the launch of a new initiative following farmers to invest in greenhouses with the distribution of free aid to eligible applicants starting next week. She said that a total of 68 farmers have applied, and after evaluation, the aid will be issued next week. In addition, she announced the upcoming Uturutila Faru UTF Agriculture Zone project, which aims to transform the agricultural landscapes in the Maldives, and a vertical farming project aimed at introducing innovative agricultural practices. Referring to the efforts being made to provide necessary assistance to the agricultural sector, Minister Ramila noted plans to establish the National Plant Protection Organization next year, with operations beginning soon after. She also confirmed that the agricultural laboratory will be completed by the end of the year.
Ministry of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development announces the preparation of a research report that focuses on higher education fields critical for national development. This initiative is undertaken by the ministry with the assistance of the World Bank under the Sustainable and Integrated Labour Services Sales Project. The primary aim of this initiative is to identify key areas that significantly contribute to the country's national development and to enhance higher education opportunities in these fields. The ministry has indicated that it has gathered relevant information from various government authorities, state-owned enterprises, SOEs and councils. Furthermore, efforts are ongoing to obtain additional data from entities that have not yet provided the necessary information. The ministry also highlighted its efforts to organize the collected data effectively. President Dr. PSMNEWS has pledged to expand the opportunities for Maldivians to enhance their skills and to ensure their active participation in national development. Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited, MIFCO, starts to utilize vessels from the Maldives State Shipping MSS to boost the export of fish products. The agreement related to this collaboration was signed by the Managing Director of MSS Ahmad Sharif and Chief Financial Officer CFO of MIFCO Ilyas Hanif. Under the agreement, MSS will facilitate all logistical services to MIFCO required to export fish products. Regarding the agreement, Managing Director of MSS Ahmad Sharif stated that the fish products from MIFCO facilities situated in various locations in the Maldives will be brought to Male City, where MSS Opal. These products will then be transferred to feeder ships of MSS, which will be exported in various destinations. Sharif stated this agreement will facilitate the export of fish products to any global destination. Meanwhile, MIFCO's CFO Ilyas Hanif stated that MIFCO's operations are one of the biggest logistic operations in the country. He stated that this operation will bring a positive change in the export services and will significantly reduce the company's expenses. Global markets shrug off weak data from China, with some major indices hitting fresh records as traders looked ahead to corporate earnings later this week.
But oil prices fell as markets weren't impressed with the pledge by China's finance minister to boost the world's second biggest economy. On Wall Street, all three major indices finished higher ahead of a slew of high-profile corporate earnings from companies including Netflix, Bank of America, and Goldman Sachs. The broad-based S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit fresh records, while tech-rich Nasdaq Composite rose on the back of 2.4% increase in the share price of chipmaker Nvidia. Traders now value the US-based chip designer at more than $3.4 trillion, making it the world's second most valuable publicly traded company after Apple. Briefing.com analyst Patrick O'Hare told AFP that the market just continues to sort of squeeze higher, led by primarily the mega-cap stocks. One of the week's key economic events take place Thursday, when the European Central Bank ECB is expected to lower interest rates again as anxiety about inflation in the Eurozone fades and concerns over sluggish growth mount. The euro traded lower against the dollar and pound Monday. Europe's main equity markets closed higher, with Frankfurt at a record finish. But oil prices slid as concerns about the outlook for China's economy offset fears of escalating conflict in the Middle East. China's finance minister, Lan Foan, on Saturday said that the country would issue special bonds to bolster banks, signaling an impending spending spree to shore up the property market and ease local government debt. An economist at Moody's Analytics, Harry Murphy-Cruz, said that the announcement ticked most of the right boxes, but it lacked detail on the scale and scope of new spending.
Seoul's military says North Korea blew up sections of the deeply symbolic roads connecting it to the south, adding it had conducted a counter-fire operation in response.
Pyongyang's military last week vowed to permanently seal its southern border after spending months laying mines and building anti-tank barriers in the wake of leader Kim Jong-un declaring the south his country's principal enemy. The North also accused Seoul of using drones to drop anti-regime propaganda leaflets on the capital Pyongyang, with Kim convening a security meeting to direct a plan of immediate military action in response, state media reported. North Korea has detonated parts of the Gyeonggui and Donghae roads north of the military demarcation line, the Joint Chiefs of Staff said, referring to inter-Korean infrastructure that once connected the two countries. It added that there has been no damage to their military and forces are conducted counter-fire in areas south of the MDL. Experts said that roads have long been shuttered, but destroying them sends a clear message that Kim is not prepared to negotiate with the south. South Korea's military released video footage showing North Korean soldiers in military uniforms ahead of a huge explosion, which emitted thick billowing smoke as it blew up sections of the Gyeonggi Road. More footage apparently from after the blast showed excavators digging while soldiers worked as large red trucks arrived. The Seoul military also released separate footage showing North Korea blowing up a section of the Donghae Road on the east coast. South Korea's unification ministry slammed the North for what it called an extremely abnormal provocation, adding that Seoul had shouldered millions in costs for building the infrastructure. A foreign ministry spokeswoman said that China, a traditional ally of the North, called on all parties to avoid further escalation of conflicts on the peninsula.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.
राज्य के एक्सोदन अन्नमुंदा बदलतका तरक्की के मशरूतन हिंगा नुहिंगा गुत्गे मौलूमात आम रयितुन्ना मुहिमुवाने मिकंकम के एम फहु के तफसीली मौलूमात गेनिस्तेनी मी प्रोग्रामु